All right. So for our next video, what we're going to be looking at is how do we transition to getting the pup to retrieve outdoors. Um, One of the things that I wanted to mention in this video is the segments on this are kind of broken apart into rough ages, but really age is not nearly as important as progression. Instead of worrying about my puppy is 4 months old, he has to be doing this by this age, we should instead think of it in like a flow chart, like one step at a time. Wherever they are is where they are. Some dogs just naturally whoosh, zoom through early on stages, and some drag their feet. And that's not necessarily an indicator of where they end up by the time they're, say, 2 years old. It's just how they make progress. So, Aries is right at 3 months old in this particular video. And obviously, he's been retrieving indoors since we got him at about 8 weeks old. And so he's pretty proficient at retrieving. Now, again, when we do this, remember the rules from the first video on retrieving, which are use their favorite toy, whatever that is. In this case, he loves this little Dock and Quail. And um, we're going to do this for a very limited number of times. Now, he's sitting here looking at me patiently, so I want to reward that because he's a good boy. We reward that behavior because it's good. And so all we're going to do is we're going to start with the simple same idea where we're just going to give it a toss and encourage him to return. Now, since we are outdoors, it's obviously much more enticing for the pup to take off. And if that's the case, there are tricks to solve that. The first one you can do is to think about the location for where you're doing this. So, for example, you'll notice that this mowed lane is, only say, 5 or 8 yards wide and is a nice long strip. We actually use this with young dogs starting as early as Aries age to help them understand the idea. Go straight out, come straight back. Don't go over there. Don't go over there because there's kind of a barrier. Now, obviously, the dog can go through that grass cover strip if they want, but this will help encourage, help funnel them back to us. So think about if you've got a spot, like say beside a garage or up against a fence or something like that, to help encourage the dog to come back to you. We want to try to do it as naturally as we can. So here's a little look at doing this. What do you say, bud? Huh? Ready to go? So we're going to start with the same idea. We're just going to tease a little, and which he's all excited about that, and give it a little toss. And this grass is mowed, but not super short. Pop, pop, pop. Good boy. Oh, we get distracted by a popkin. Good boy. Good. And remember, we don't want to just take it away from him. We want to share the toy with him at the beginning. Good boy. Good. Good boy. And then I'm going to use the word give to take it away from him. Okay? So the first time was good. That was really good. Remember, get rid of distractions if we can. Let's do another one here. We'll give it a little bit more length here. We'll stretch him out a little bit. Pop, pop, pop. Hey. On a nice high arch so it's easy for him to mark and see it. Good boy, Aries. Pop, pop, pop. Good boy. Lots of encouragement, lots of praise. Good boy. And we catch the dog, not the toy. All right, so we have him. Attaboy. Good. So we don't just take the toy away from him immediately, but we share with him, we make it fun, we make it a game. And then I'm going to take it away. I'm saying, give. Good boy. So once we got that going, the next thing we're going to do, let's try now, we're going to do this with a little bit of restraint. All right. Hey, Aries, come here. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So we're going to bring him in here, and we're going to hold him, just like we did in the hallway. And now we're going to give it a nice fling. Aries. And I let him go as soon as it hit the ground. Just trying to show a little bit of restraint. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Are you a good boy? Okay. Trying to help him understand the idea that he's going to have to eventually be steady, that he can't have it forever. Now, if you've got a puppy that is not coming to you, the trick is to use what we call a check cord. All right? The check cord is a long, lightweight leash, and it can be, usually it's made out of rope. You can make it out of about whatever you want. but just a long, thin, light rope. This one's actually a little bit heavy, and this clip is way too heavy for a little puppy. But clip this onto them with a leash, and if they take it and they run off that way, simply step on the rope and reel them in like a fish, and encourage them to bring it to you. All we're trying to do, remember, this stage, we're just trying to create good habits. We're not trying to make this pretty. We're just trying to establish good habits. So if the pup is coming to us, great. We encourage that. If not, we're going to make them do it with the check lead. And then, just like with indoors, he's all excited about doing this. We're only going to do a couple reps, and then we stop. We always keep them wanting more. But that's how you get your pup retrieving outdoors.